6 minutes after 5 now, and this morning the world is bracing for new sweeping tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump.
It adds at least 10% tariffs on all countries, with higher rates for countries that are considered what the president calls the worst offenders. So while the universal 10% rate does not take effect until this weekend, an immediate effect is apparent on Wall Street. This is a live glimpse at stock futures this morning, with the Dow down just about 1,100 points. It's been sort of seesawing a little bit this morning as we anticipate the markets to open in just a couple of hours from now. Stocks plunged as the president made that announcement yesterday, with further drops in after-hours trading. So the customized rates will take effect next Wednesday. Asia is among the harder hit countries, with China now seeing an additional 34% tariff on top of the existing 20% tariff. And one of the highest tariff rates will be a 49% tax on all Cambodian imports. Speaking from the White House Rose Garden yesterday, President Trump leaned into his theme of calling it Liberation Day.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper.
Several U.S. trade partners, including the European Union, Mexico, Canada, and China, pledged to retaliate. Stay with us on King 5 Mornings. We will have the latest on the stock market right when it opens in our next hour.
And today also begins a new 25% tariff on vehicles shipped into the United States. It highlights the way these tariffs are working their way into your life in one way or another. Economists predict you'll see higher prices as a result, as companies pass down the new costs on to consumers. Next, we could see an economic slowdown. JP Morgan now predicts a global recession if the president maintains these tariffs. Supporters note other countries don't have to retaliate, but right now several countries, including the EU, are already preparing countermeasures while warning of a global economic impact.
The global economy will massively suffer. Uncertainty will spiral and trigger the rise of further protectionism. The consequences will be dire for millions of people around the globe, also for the most vulnerable countries, which are now subject to some of the highest U.S. tariffs.
Third, retirement funds will continue to take a hit if the stock market doesn't fully rebound. We could also see higher interest rates if the Federal Reserve sees too much inflation. But if the president's predictions hold true, the higher tariffs could result in some growth for domestic manufacturers who decide to build more of their products on U.S. soil to avoid these tariffs.